Crafters, it's Ariane Gerlach here from Life is Crafted, and I am Anne. I am so excited to finally be able to show you the A5 Flourish range. So it's going to be a little bit of a walkthrough, a step-by-step throughout the product. So if you would like to get yourself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, or if it's maybe after 12 o'clock, a glass of vino, if that is your drink perchance today, please feel free to go ahead and just press the pause button for now. Yep, totally on pause. Okay, welcome back. So this is the new design in the 2014 collection. I am so excited to show you the beautiful illustration done by Kirsten Blatcher of Kirsten Blatcher Creative. She gave me a beautiful range of colors, and I have then created the layouts from it. If you're familiar with the Dotty range, the layout is very similar. It's just done with a whole new range of colors and very different designs. And I love the word flourish. To me, it's all about blossoming and unearthing your core needs and coming out of your shell and shining like that star that you are in your life. So hopefully you get a bit of that vibe coming through these pages, and I'm going to reposition the camera now so that you will hopefully be able to see these beautiful pages quite easily. There we go. Got it on some fancy stand that I can swivel a little bit, so hopefully that positioning is good. All right, so I've got the pages in my beautiful favorite A5 Chameleon in Raspberry, which, you know, I do adore, and I still use in conjunction with a couple of other folders that you'll see in upcoming videos. But, drum roll, we begin. This first page is the cover page for the personalized products. So if you have bought a printed starter pack sometime in October or November, you'll be getting it with the name that you've given me on the front here. And of course, a beautiful quote. This one I love. It's live with intention, walk to the edge, listen hard, practice wellness, play with abandon, laugh, choose with no regret, appreciate your friends, continue to learn, do what you love, life, live as if this is all there is. And that's by Mary Ann Radmacher. Sorry, I haven't mastered the skill of reading upside down yet, but yeah, so that is the personalized cover page if you get the printed pack in November. Then we've got the normal cover page, the Life Crafting Planner. Life is a sum of your choice. Oh goodness, maybe I should start this video again. Life is a sum of your choices. So then we've got a bit of an info page. This is where you start injecting a whole lot of you into the pages. This is your personal information, so your contact details in case of emergency. Important contacts. Now, I always put that here because I think it's really nice to have a quick reference point for contact numbers of important people. If your phone dies, if your iPad dies, if you can't Facebook somebody, you are able then to have their phone number on hand, because I don't know about you, but I have a tendency not to remember anyone's phone number anymore because I never dial it. I just press their name on my phone. So that's there. Then we've got accounts and info, and this is where I often put things like, I don't know, my license number, bank account details, so information, once again, that I refer to on a pretty frequent basis. Then these two pages, which, you know, when I show this planner to people, this is one of the pages that they love, absolutely love. I think in this modern world with all these websites that we're members of, we tend to forget which password we used for what, or which variation of a password. So while I don't recommend at all that you write your password or username or anything out in full, use prompts that will jog your memory to know that, oh yeah, it was a capital D and it was an exclamation exclamation mark, or there was a hash in it, or something along those lines. This is one of my most often referred to pages in my planner on a consistent basis. So I hope you find them really useful as well. Then there's a notes page, and the notes page is sort of sprinkled throughout the planner. This is another one of my personal favorite pages because I'm all about goal setting. I'm all about having a vision for your life and then having it in front of you as a constant reminder. This page for me, I tend to move a lot through my planner, so it's closer to the current days. And what I really love is when you can set an intention for the 12 months ahead. So that might be one word or one sentence that's a theme coursing through the whole year, or it might be an overarching aim that you want for your life or your lifestyle or yourself in some way. Then, when you've crafted some of your goals, and I've got a goal setting sheet that I'll be showing you in a moment, write a snapshot of those goals here, and so you're able to read them every day and have them really top of mind, because when you get clear on what you want and you get specific on what you want, it's amazing what you start to do, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. It's like there's a part of your brain, and it's called the reticular activating system, the RAS. And the way it works is probably best illustrated by an example. So if you are looking to buy a car and you start researching and you start going, oh, I'm really interested in getting a Toyota or a Chrysler or an Audi, and you know, I think it'd be really nice to get a silver one. All of a sudden, you start seeing that silver brand of car everywhere you go, right? So goals work in the same way. When you get really clear, your brain, your unconscious mind starts picking up on things that will help you achieve it. So anyway, a bit of an aside, but a really powerful page, and a page that you should be using. I hate the word, okay, not should, that you can be using throughout your planner or moving it along. Then it's your ideal day. So once again, another sort of self-coaching exercise to do. And you might want to get a couple more pages to write out a little bit more, but it's more or less, what would your ideal day in your life look like? Who would you be with? What would you be doing? How would you be feeling? What would you be doing for work? How much money is in your bank account? What are you looking forward to? Once again, just get really specific, because it gives you hints and clues about what makes you tick. Then we go into the planning pages of the diary. So I've only printed one set of each. If you have the printed planner, you get 5 pages, and 5 pages back and front, so it's like 10 pages altogether per type. So this one here is the master to-do list, and I've got 2 types. I've got a master to-do list that has 2 columns and a master to-do list that has 4 columns. How I tend to use these lists is I categorize them. So one page for me might be around my finances, and then, you know, one might be around budget, one might be things I have to do around my mortgage, and then underneath that, activities go. I got feedback from some people that the 4 columns, there was a little bit too little space for them to write. But I'm a person in these type of things, I don't write very much, so I actually like having lots of space, or lots of tick boxes, I guess, to put them. So I've got both in there, and then I guess it's just a matter of what works the best for you. This is often a place where activities go that may not be immediately actionable. So as you go along with your day or your week or your month or whatever, and obviously probably to-dos pop into your head in random times, in random places. And while they may not need to be done today or tomorrow or next week, at some stage in your future, you would like to do it. And that's where I find this area works the best, to capture those sorts of activities that don't have a time frame yet. So that's those 2 pages. Then we go into the goal planning sheet. Now this is an awesomely detailed way of crafting a goal for your life, and it can be for any area. but it really gets you to make sure that it is specific, measurable, attainable, reaching. So, you know, it's inspiring. It's not just something that's going to be easy for you to get. It's going to stretch you. And time framed. And then it goes through a series of questions for you to think about, because often when we start creating a goal and start working towards it, we get obstacles that come up. We can sometimes lose motivation to do it because it's sort of getting too hard. And some of these questions just get you to think about that before they happen and see whether you can deter them from happening. And then down the bottom are some action steps that you can start nutting out in regards to making that goal a reality for you. All about goals. So yeah, so you get 5 sheets of those. In the PDF products, you'll get, I think there's 2 pages of each thing. So if you print it in booklet format, it's easy for you to do. And then you can just print as many as you want for your own personal use as you'd like. So perfect. And there's also a list and planning PDF too. So even if you did buy the printed starter pack and you just wanted to be able to refill your own list, which I'll show you in a minute, and planning pages, then you can do that too. So then the next one here in the planning section is project planning. So sometimes a goal will become a project. And this really has things like the project name, what your estimated start and end date are, priority, date, task, and whether it's done. I love ticking things off. So these checkboxes are a real motivator for me to put things on the list, do them, make it happen, check it off. Satisfaction happens. And then, you know, any other list, house renovations, decluttering, any project you can think of, which I went kind of blank on at the moment. Then, you know, lots of stuff happens in our life. Time rushes by. I find it really useful to have this routine planner in here. So I've got some different time bases to guide you. For example, daily, weekly, fortnightly, monthly, all the way up to 6 months, yearly, and then ad hoc. So what are some activities that need to be repeated on a frequent or semi-regular basis that you can put in here that will help you schedule when the time comes? So, you know, it's the dental cleanup, the mouth clean every 6 months. If you're a lady, you know, you got to check the lady bits out every 2 years, or, you know, more frequently if need be. How often do you need to pump your tires, change the oil? Sometimes when life gets so busy, it's really easy to forget when these things get done. So being able to remind yourself on a regular basis and then schedule it into your calendar, I find is really helpful. On the same vein, I'm just going to turn this so you can see it a little bit better, so I've got flappy things there. But this is more or less a weekly layout, right? So I, once again, find it useful to have a bit of a structure to my week. And what I've done is I've got a daily column here, and then Monday to Sunday, and then down the side it's mornings, afternoons, and evenings. So, for example, I like to spend my Monday mornings designing my week. So putting the big chunks into place, seeing what's coming up, working on my businesses. So rather than doing all the activities, the reactive activities, kind of go, oh, what am I doing with product design? What am I doing with, you know, so-and-so? So I schedule that in for Monday mornings, for example. Friday afternoons, I try to do my weekend reviews. Saturday mornings, I try to have some sort of creative time. So what are the big chunks that you want to make sure happen in a regular week for you? And what I like here about the daily things is I put down, okay, what's the structure of my day? What are the things that I want to make sure that I'm doing every day? So, you know, waking up to write my gratitude list, or my morning pages goes there. Whether I'm going to yoga most mornings is in there. Checking social media or doing my emails at a certain time. Right up to whatever you do in the evenings or afternoon. You know, whatever it is that it's just a bit of a block of a daily schedule. So yeah, so you can really see that you're getting more organized with your life. You're putting some thought about what you want to happen, what you want to see on a regular basis, and having a place to structure that, which I love. Then we go on to the perpetual special dates to remember calendar. So this would go with your diary from year to year. It's a place to keep people's birthdays, special anniversaries for yourself, and it's just that quick thing of, you know, January, February, March, it's got the dates down the side of just writing it in. So it just keeps a record of all those important things. So you don't necessarily, every year, like I used to, need to go in and rewrite everyone's birthday, you know, throughout the year so you could remember it from the year before. You just take these pages with you to the new calendar. Great, huh? Yes. Alrighty. Then we've got a couple of pages of the multi-year overview. So 2013, 14, 15, and 16. Oh, I didn't print the back side of this one. 15 and 16 is there. Then we go into the year planner. So the first page I've got is to schedule. Because sometimes before you want to, well, okay, if you're anything like me, before you start writing everything into the proper page in the diary, you want to have a bit of a brainstorm about what is it that you want to fit into the year. And some of you might have heard that story about the big rocks. I won't tell you the whole thing, but it's more or less, if you put the big rocks, the big important things into your life first, all the little, you know, less important or distracting things can fit around it. Whereas if you're just reacting all the time to what's going on in the moment and that email or that lunch or that whatever that you need to attend or, you know, you'd like to attend, sometimes those big important things get left to last and you run out of time. So you don't have that special family holiday. You don't have the business planning retreat that you wanted because, you know, the little things just took up too much of your time. So this is a place just to brainstorm those big rocks and maybe small rocks. Before then, you start putting it into your yearly calendar. So the highlights there are the weekends. So it basically shows you how the days are split up. Okay, then we get into the juice of the diary. So the real heart, the calendar. Many of you may have heard me say before, but what you schedule becomes your life. So be careful what you schedule, all right? Put some great things in. Put things that make you feel really excited, that you're going to be looking forward to. So the Flourish range has new tabs. So you can see down the side here, they are also just like the dotty ones, the 6 per view, but they've got a different color range. They all have a beautiful quote, different to the dotty range on the back here. So these are motivational, they're about life, they're about relationships, they're about thoughts, that type of thing. Then we start, I'm going to show you, just for a change, because I think I always start with January, so I'm going to show you my favorite month, which is May. So the first page of every month in the starter pack starts with the monthly dreams. So first one is, what's the 3 most important things to do this month? And there's the number there. Once again, it's the big rocks. You know, this month, what do I need to make sure that I do by hook or by crook so that I'll feel accomplished or I'm working towards my goals? And these actions, you know, they may be part of working towards a certain goal. They may be a work deadline that you have, a study-related thing, a relationship-related thing. So whatever it is, start there. Set the tone for your month. The next one is areas of life to focus on. So when we see the month in review, that might make more sense, but this is, you know, if you feel you've been a little bit out of balance, you've been working too hard, maybe this month you want to be focusing on your health, or you want to be focusing on your finances a little bit more. And you might get clearer on that by your previous month in review. The next one is who I want to be or how I want to feel. So, this month, do you want to be the person who does everything that they say they will? Or do you want to mainly have a sense of, being an action taker this month? So whatever's going on in your life, who is it in you that's going to be the best person to step up and make those things happen? Or, really, what do you want to be feeling while your whole life is going on and you're taking part, So it's really about setting that focused intention. Then the area with more space are your other glorious dreams for this month. So, you might be going, I want to make sure I enjoy that party or that special family gathering, or I want to make sure that I finish off a certain project, or my other dream is that I will, be able to run around the oval under a certain time limit, whatever it is for you. Then down the bottom, it's kind of like a little checklist here. So it's review the master to-do list, like I showed you before, and projects, and move items to this month. So anything that might be relevant, refer over there and see if it's a good time to do one of those activities now, or multiple of those activities. The next one is transfer important dates, reminders, and birthdays to this month. So you might want to refer to your special dates calendar from beforehand, or things from previous calendars. Yeah, just so you're prepared for the month ahead. The next one is read over goals, and if they're still rocking you, transfer some of the activities over. Great. Then we go over into the month on 2 pages. So every month on 2 pages has May or month, whatever it is, 2014, and a lovely quote down here. Every month has a different color scheme to it. So this is the teal, and yeah, so everybody uses month at a glance or month on 2 pages slightly differently. I generally tend to put down like the big events or big activities that I'm doing so I can glance at it easily. The other thing that many of you have been asking me is often if you get something like the day per page pack, it can get pretty chunky, hey, pretty thick. Even the week on 2 pages, when you've got all your extra pages at the front and the back, what I tend to do is I will carry around 2 full months worth of the calendar pages. And then for the months that are either before or after, I leave these pages in. So if it's a month ahead, I've only got the monthly pages in there. If a particular event comes up, or I know there's something being scheduled in, I've got a place already to write it in one of these boxes, rather than carrying around a big, heavy, super stuffed folder all the time. So yeah, so that's how I do it. And then every month I just take out the last month, put in the one after. Works really well for me. And that's why if you've had the products before, I put the month in review here straight after the month on 2 pages. I used to have it at the end of the month, but I got some really great feedback. It made so much sense to me when I got it to have it here, right? So that you can remove the month pages when they're not immediately relevant to you anymore, yet still keep that snapshot of it. Now, I love the month in review. Once again, there can be a lot happening in life, and it's really hard to grab the little snapshots, little important bits that made that month so special when you're so focused on what's going on at the moment. So spending a little bit of time at the end of every month and filling something like this out, and look, there's space for you to add whatever else you want in it. But this gives a great snapshot. So it's got things like, what were the highlights of the month for you? What's something I learned? Activities I did, events I attended, things I'm crazy in love with right now. So that one, just to explain a little bit more, you might have just used that one particular handbag for the majority of that month, and it's just a symbol of what that month was. Or it was a really popular song that you got really obsessed with, and that was just something that was playing over and over and over that month. Or you got obsessed with, like, I don't know, green juices or something. So I just think it's nice to grab those little playful things and record them here. Another thing is one thing to stop doing and one thing to start doing. So, you know, one thing to stop doing, it could be something as simple as, I don't know, one bad habit I have is I often leave the cupboard doors open. I know, really annoying, isn't it? But I will like look in the kitchen cupboard and then not close it straight after me. So, you know, that could be one thing that I am focused on for the next month, that I'm gonna stop doing that. And then one thing to start doing. So, you know, what's another particular habit that you want to begin in your life? And once again, it could be big, it could be small, but one thing is, you know, I want to start meditating, and I'm going to start off with 2 minutes a day because I've heard all the health benefits. I want to see if it works for me. So something like that would go there. Then 3 things I felt truly grateful for this month. You know, you've probably heard me talk about gratitude a lot. It is such a powerful yet simple activity to do. If you can do it on a daily basis, please do. And if you do and it changes your world like it changed mine, let me know. I love hearing about things like that. And then over here, rating my areas of life right now. So areas of life have been written down there. So it's things like health, finances, love, family, social, and so on. And give yourself a rating out of 10. And areas to focus on next month. So here you might say, just, you know, it's one of those things. Do it honestly for yourself. Really, truly, really, truly. How are you feeling about your amount of time that you spend on fun things, on things that really interest you, on hobbies? And how happy are you with that level right now? You know, so rate yourself from 1 to 10. Or how are you with your area of love and romance right now? How did you feel this month was? I mean, for me, while I have an absolutely amazing man that I'm so excited to be marrying early next year, I would probably score my love, not to do with the quality of it, but my love and romance, probably about a 6 at the moment, because we're not spending a lot of quality time together because I've been so busy with my work. He's had a lot of emergencies with his work. And so while we've still been absolutely, you know, loving to each other and affectionate, the quality time hasn't been there. So realistically, that's what I'd rate myself now. So go through that list and just see what it is for you. And whatever it is, it's absolutely okay. And then choose an area that perhaps you'd like to focus on. And flipping back to that monthly dreams, area or areas of life to focus on is right there. Now, instead of making 2 videos, one for the week on 2 pages and one for the day per page, I wanted to show you the 2 different ones here in the same video, because really the same tabs, the same intro pages, the same monthly pages come with the starter packs. It's just the individual calendar layout that differs. All right, so here is a week on 2 page layout. You may notice already, if you're familiar with my pages, that there have been a few changes, a few improvements. Once again, I asked for your feedback and you responded. Thank you so much. So, to give you the overview, week on 2 pages can be really awesome if you like to see how your schedule relates, like different events, different meetings, different activities, how it relates to each other. I work really well with this because I do like to see how much time I have to spend on different things, and I can see that really easily at a glance here. Now the pages are set up in a relatively flexible way, so you can really utilize it whatever works best for you. So along the top here, they're untitled list areas. How I like to use it is that I break my lists or these areas into different categories. So for me, I'm like, this is my personal list. So if I wanted to, you know, clean out my shoe closet, not that I've got that many shoes, but you know, if I wanted to do something like that, that's kind of personal for me. Or make sure I want to have a bubble bath. And this is only for this week, right? So you might get stuff from your master to-do list, or just have your brainstorm of what you'd like to do. My next one is errands. So if that's like, I got to go to the post office, which I do on a regular basis, or to the hairdresser, or I've got to run to the stationery store to pick up a few bits and pieces, that goes there. Sometimes if I know they're going to be short lists, I kind of split it into two. So this is how it works for me. I put, errands up here, write a couple of things, and I do contacts. So if there's specific people that I really need to contact in this week, I put it down there. The other things, I've got a couple of little businesses, so I put the different business titles, so Life is Crafted, Lux Life Adventuress, and Life Typed. And then the other two might have to do with a certain project that I'm doing this week, and I need a little bit more space for that particular project. So whatever those categories are for you, work out what works. I know somebody that's got self-care as one, because they're really working on nurturing themselves and giving themselves the time and space that they need to flourish. Another person has lots of meetings, so one of them is meetings to schedule, and so it's written there. So whatever's going on in your life, whatever tends to take up a big chunk of space, I've got a lot of stay-at-home mums who use the calendar, and so I know that they put some of their kids' names up there, so specific things that each kid needs to do, whether they have a cleaning and cooking schedule, meal planning time. So whatever is important to you in your particular life, in your particular instance, can be used there. Other people tend to use it as, sorry, I'm using a lot, I can notice this, I'm like process thinking. Other people tend to use it as the sort of bigger to-do list, if they have a lot to do, for that particular day. So as we go further on, it's this second section across the bottom here, it's your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so on, and time slots from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. with a space before and a space after if you need to do something earlier than 8. So you might have a 6 a.m. airport run, or you might have a 10 p.m. show coming on TV, and you want to make sure that you've got it as a reminder there. So there's a little bit of flexibility of space there. And then for the Monday, which continues down here, you've got the top 3 priorities. So once again, what are the most important things that you need to do today that's going to feel that you're progressing, that you're moving forwards? So put the 3 here. Then you've got to do today. So if you categorize things along the top, you might pick and choose going, okay, so on the Monday, I'm going to take something from that list, something from that list, and that one, and that will go here then. And then for the Tuesday, it might be that way too. Down the bottom, you've got remember. So, it might be somebody's birthday, or it might be a bill that's due. Something that you need to remember on that day, there's a place to put it, especially if you're kind of working, a week or two in advance, when you kind of jot something down, you have to do that day, or you need to pay that day. Remember it. Then another suggestion from a lovely life crafter was a rating system. So once again, completely up to you how you use it. It might be, okay, out of 5 stars, how did I feel today? Oh, I felt awesome. It was a 5 out of 5 day. Or, today was a bit crap, so it was only 2. Or if you have, in your daily checklist of things that you like to do on a daily basis, how many of those things do you get done? Oh, today I was 3 out of 5. Today I did 5 out of 5. Or, you could assign a star to a certain thing. So 1 to you, and you can write your little code somewhere, your little legend, is, the first one was that I exercised for a minimum of 20 minutes. I drank 3 glasses of water. I did my gratitude, 5 pieces of gratitude every day. I reached out to somebody and told them how much they meant to me. And, I did half an hour of study, or reading or educating myself. So, you know, you could assign yourself a little key, have some fun with it. Don't beat yourself up if you're not a 5-star every day. We're all human. We all have days or stretches of days sometimes where not everything comes together. So totally up to you, but I really loved that idea. So I was so happy to be able to include it in this one. Now down the side here, once again from feedback, I've rearranged a few things. There used to be a little calendar here, but the majority of people didn't seem to use it on like a month overview, because really you can just flip a page or two and you'll get to your month or 2 pages overview. They're all, you know, to the front and you get to your multi-year overview. So I removed that so there's more space for things that were useful for the majority of people. This is probably where you should start. The 3 priorities for the week. So what are the 3 things this week that will make you feel accomplished? That will make you feel like, yeah, baby, kicking ass here, making things happen. Then down the bottom, woo, surprise, it's gratitude. So what are the 5 things that you've been grateful for this week? You might have plenty more than 5, go ahead, but 5 minimum for the week. Now these other areas, once again, they're untitled boxes, right? So make them for whatever you wanted. The lady who suggested this, she's a freelancer, right? So she wanted to have a place where she could keep track of money coming in, money going out, invoices to send out to people. So I've given her a few boxes here that she can do, she can keep track of that. Others might be, I don't know, exercise activities to do this week. So, you know, if you're doing like, oh, it's 50 reps of whatever, obviously I haven't been to the gym for a while, refer yoga or the park. But, you know, I want to be making sure that I'm doing 25 squats every workout. Whatever it is that you need to keep a record of, that you want to refer to, you have the flexibility of putting it there. So that's what I love about this new setup. It really takes into account a whole bunch of ways that different people with different needs, different lifestyles, different focuses can utilize the pages to the best of their ability. So that is the week on 2 pages. Then, how do I put them in the back here? Oh, the other thing that I wanted to explain in regards to the week on 2 pages, and it's something that my mum pointed out and then I realized when she was pointing it out. Now, I guess our brain structures work in different ways, right? But what I've done now, which I think is different to the Dotty range, I hope, yeah, okay. So when the month finishes off, so for example, this is May 2014, ends here on a Saturday and the June starts there, right? I more or less for most months kept the end of the month in the month that it was. It just seems to flow better and work better. In the past, you know, if the first of the month here was here, I would include this spread in June, right? Or in the next month that was there. And it kind of broke the flow up a little bit of the current month that you're working on. So just thought I'd point that out because it does make so much more sense to me that it's set up this way now. And then, yeah, and then the month ends and then, you know, it's June. Yay! So, and I just want to see where I put the day per page pages in. So I just wanted to show you, here they are. I didn't print out all the pages. I just pretty much wanted to show you what the layouts were like. So we've gone all the way back to January 2014. And this is the day per page layout. Once again, I think I made a few updates, a few changes from before. Obviously the design with the beautiful Flourish range is a little bit new. Done a little bit of peekaboo coming in through the back of the lines there. But let's go through one page. So, once again, a place for reminders. a place for the important things that you need to remember in regards to this particular date. Then we've got 3 most important tasks for today. Check, check, check. Done. You're a superstar. The rest down here are to-dos. Now, look, the reason why I find the 3 most important tasks or 3 most important things to do every day is, number 1, it keeps you focused and productive on what the most important things are. Because in the midst of, you know, the lot of emails that come through, the different phone calls, the different distractions that we have, it just keeps you a lot more on track. The other reason is, you know, sometimes it's a little game we need to play with ourselves. The way I describe it to people is, you know, if you have this massive to-do list and it's got like 20 things on it, but you only accomplished 11 of them, you kind of sometimes beat yourself up, you know, that you didn't get a lot done. Whereas, if you did, you know, your 3 most important tasks and you had a few more tasks here and you got, you know, 8 of them done, you feel so much more accomplished. And it's less tasks than you did you know, in the day that you had 20, but the way that you've put it to yourself, I don't know, I just think it leaves a better taste in your mouth. Maybe your brain works differently, but that's how I work. So that's why I really harp on about having that 3 most important things, whether it's on a daily, a weekly, or a monthly time schedule. All right, so you've got your to-dos down here. Now, if you're like me sometimes, I like to write a lot of to-dos down, you know, because it makes me feel good to tick them off. So even though I've already done something small, like, I don't know, cleaned the sink, I write it down and then I tick it off even after I did it, you know. But it helps me build momentum. So if you have, you know, a super busy day with lots of little tasks and you want to build that momentum, I split this into 2 columns. So I've got it down here and I've got it down here. Sometimes, you know, really it's impossible to get that many tasks done in a day, but you just need to work out what works the best for you. But yeah, I just draw a column and then I write the stuff down, then I tick it off. Perfect. Perfect for me. Then we've got a notes section here, so you can note away to your heart's delight. Going over here, once again, a blank space. Now, originally I wanted to write gratitude in there and, you know, highly recommend to people to do gratitude every day, but I thought that might be a little bit too structured for some people. So use that box for whatever you want. Though gratitude is lovely. No, it's totally up to you. This is your planner, right? So you can do whatever you want with it. Put the juiciest intentions, information, bits in. You know, if you're really excited about fashion, write down what you wore that day, right? If you're, you know, got a real health kick, put health-related stuff down there. Plan your meals there. Whatever it is for you, use the box wisely because it can be very powerful. Now, with the appointments section, there's a little bit more space, right? So every hour has 2 lines to it, and it goes from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. And once again, there's a line at the beginning if you have a super freaking early thing to do. Then down the bottom, it's tracking. So what are you tracking at the moment? Are you tracking minutes exercised? Are you tracking glasses of water drank? Are you tracking, you know, your kid's height? Whatever it is that you want to be tracking, here's a lovely place for you to do it. And then you've got the 5-star rating system going on there too. So just like I said before. And then same on the next day. It's not so much a mirror image. The top is a bit of a mirror image, right? But this structure, I've just picked it up and put it there. So the most important things are in the same place, the to-do list, the notes, and so on are in the same place. It's just this part because it looked nicer with the dates on the outside. So that's the heart of the calendar pages. And whether you get the week on 2 page or the day per page, this gives you a really great idea of what the pages look like. Any questions, let me know, shoot me an email. I'm getting more emails, so if you don't get a response from me in a couple of days, make sure you email me back, because I do respond to every one of them, but it might have just gotten lost in the few that I'm getting. All right, so flipping. So here's the other set of color tabs down the side: July, August, September, October, November, December. Oh, June, didn't flip that one over. December down the bottom there. So a nice, bright, vibrant color scheme. So, you know, there's June. It's got a beautiful red to it. Then we go to the list pages at the end. Now, the printed packs get 1 page, so here's 1 page per list, but you get front and back. So that's gratitude on the front, gratitude on the back, right? Then we go into life highlights. So life highlights are really, you know, events, holidays, activities, experiences. Really, they're about important moments to remember. So can you imagine starting to build that up? And once again, taking these pages with you from year to year and just adding onto them, you will really start amassing such a great collection of things you're proud of, you know, and that's really important. It's really important when you're trying new things and you're going out of your comfort zone, or you're having a time in your life where things aren't quite going right, being able to come back to, you know, what truly was I grateful for at one stage? What truly have been highlights that have happened to me can just help remind you how cool you are, how really awesome you are amidst all our layers of stuff sometimes and all the pieces of crap that can build up after a while. Take a look back, and there's a few more pages that I'll be showing you that can help that as well. So life highlights again. Life lessons. Now, these are things that, you know, you learn as you go through life. You might have heard a particular cliche, or, you know, your mum might have said something to you and you were like, yeah, whatever, I get that, yeah, that's fine. But not till something happens, that cliche or that thing your bloody mum told you, does it truly make sense? It's like the penny drops from your head to your heart and you're like, you know, that is really a lesson that has hit home to me now. I find it's great to keep a record of them, and sometimes it helps remind you to take that into the future. So there's a place to put those powerful lessons down in. Then we've got the I did it list, and this is really about accomplishments. It's a great list to help you build courage and momentum when you are scared to do something. You know, those times when you're just, fear is coming up, you don't know if you have what it takes to take on a new day, a new challenge. Referring back to this list and going, you know, I worked my ass off and I did graduate from high school. Or I worked really hard on a particular goal and I lost that 10 kilos and I kept it off. Or, you know, I won gold in my year 5 competition. It can be really small, you know, it can be really small like that, but these layers build up on top of each other and show us who we've been and reminds us of those skills and talents and that persistence we had at some stage in our lives, that we accomplished that particular thing we put our mind to. That gives us a fuel to keep going and keep creating and keep moving forward. So that's the I did it list. We've got the lift up page, and that's about pick me up activities. When you're feeling down, when you're feeling a little bit low, What activities do you know generally lift you up? When you're in the moment of feeling a bit crap, it can be hard to think of the things that will make you feel better. So get preemptive, you know, when you're not feeling that way, brainstorm a list of things that you can do and you can refer to when you're feeling a bit blah. So, you know, there might be a power song that every time you hear it, it just is that feel-good thing. Or it might be a movie that every time you watch it leaves you sort of with tingles and with gratitude for your life. It might be to walk around the block, always gives you a bit more perspective. So whatever it is, write it down there. My support network. So once again, these are probably more people that are in your life that you can call on when you need to. And I've got some suggestions down there. So if you're feeling down, who can you call that generally makes you feel up? You know, if you're having a bit of a career crisis, or, you know, not sure whether to go for a promotion or change jobs or quit your job, that career aspect, who is it that has helped you in the past that you'll be able to send an email to or pick up the phone to? So just a few suggestions of different areas down there. So another super powerful, so important, yet I guess because of our programming or the society we live in, uncomfortable list to put together. And it's things I love about me, right? So there are some things that are so amazing about you, right? Something that you might have a strength in. You might love the color of your eyes. I love my smile. It's something that a lot of people comment on when I don't know, walk into a room, or I smile a lot. So that's one of the things I love about myself. If it's a bit hard for you to do, think of what others would say about you. So if you were to ask your dad or your mum or your best friend, what would they say are some of the things they love about you? Use that to kick the ball rolling. You know, and if you feel comfortable, even ask them. It's so important to be able to love ourselves. We spend the most time with us. And truly, if you're able to come from a deep love for yourself, you're able to love others so much more. So I dare you, I encourage you, I urge you to fill this page out, and you don't need to show anybody. Your planner is generally your own, but write it down there because it is powerful. It is powerful. On that note, see, I mean, this is a planner, but that's why it's a life crafting planner. These things I have found to be so important in my life have helped me so much. And yes, we have to-do lists, and yes, there's things we have to achieve, accomplish, because we live in this world. But at the end of the day, create a life you love. Start creating a life you love and love yourself as part of it. And if you feel like, say Arian told me to do it. Arian told me to do these things. I'll own it. I have no problems. All right, so moving on with the list, we're getting to the end, closer to the end now. So we've got wish list. This is a fun list. So this is really, what do you want? You know, material-wise. Let's get materialistic after that deepness. If somebody was to ask you, what do you want for your birthday? Do you sometimes go blank and just go, look, I know there's lots of things I want, but I just can't think of anything right now. Okay, here's the answer to that problem. Start writing things down. The minute you see something and go, oh, you know, I'd love to have that or that or that. Start making a list here. So it says every item has 2 lines. So you might go, oh, I want to get a Kindle, the latest one, whatever the code. I don't know what Kindle versions are up to now. So I want a Kindle and the details. So this might be this specific place that you saw a good price from, just whatever. So little hints then you can give to those lovely people who ask you what you want. And then it's got date and receive. So you can go, yep, got that now, thank you, and pop them there. Same. So gift list, much along the same vein, but this is more for other people in your life. So I often find it hard if I know my sister's birthday is coming up next week. I go completely blank on what I could get her. So the minute I see something that would suit Leanne or suit Tatiana, I'm like, writing it down here. That'd be great for Christmas, or that'd be great for the birthday. Or there may not be an occasion, but I'm just like, okay, that skirt, or that piece of art, or that book. Note it down here, and then you've got occasion. So if you did end up giving it to them for their birthday, and then the date, and that it's been received by them. So, lovely. Okay, my people. So this can be groups of people or individuals that you just want to make sure is on your radar, because you want to keep in contact with them. You want to do stuff on a regular basis with them. This is a great place to put it. Them. Go local. So really, once again, it's a bit like the gifts, right? You've got a free weekend, you'd like to do something exciting, or a friend goes, let's have dinner, where do you want to go? I can never think of the place in that moment. So the minute I'm coming across new bars, or friends have given me recommendations on restaurants, or they're like, you really need to go and see, you know, this cool beach in the eastern suburbs. Whatever it is, an activity, a location, a locale, it's popping it down here so that I can refer to that when the time becomes appropriate. It might be activities too, so you might want to put on, okay, I would love to do archery at some stage, or whitewater rafting, you know, a couple of suburbs over. So popping it there. Make life exciting, do the fun things. And here's a nice place to remind you of what they are. Places. So similar to go local, but places has more to do with stuff overseas from where you are. So, you know, one day you want to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa, or you'd like to ride a camel across the Egyptian desert. You know, whatever it is, pop that down there. Now we get into the sort of more standard lists. Books to read, films and shows to see, music to listen to or to purchase, websites to refer to or look up. Then we've got the bucket list. So 101 things to do in my life. I think I said it before, don't really like the name bucket list. It's a bit, you know, not nice. So I said it that way because most people have heard of it, but it's 101 things to do in my fabulous life. And it goes over the page. And there's plenty more. So if you want to do more than 101 things, you're totally welcome. Then we've got the blank list page, because, you know, you might be wanting to keep records of different things. Wines to taste or wines tasted. 5-star restaurants or chef-hatted restaurants I've been to. Whatever you would like to keep a list of, there are some blank pages. Blank list pages for it. So once again, in the printed pack, you have 5 of these, so 10 on each side, and you get some notes pages as well. So, oh my God, that's been a long time. It's almost an hour. No wonder I need a drink. That's it, guys. That is the very, very, very detailed Flourish range. Life is crafted. Craft yours. I'm going to craft mine with a glass of water now. Any questions, let me know. Enjoy it. Enjoy the pages, and yeah, thank you.